In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything I know about cheating on the carnivore diet.
The important thing to note is even eating 1 teaspoon of starch. So whether you're eating some grains or whether you're eating some sugar or whatever can keep that bacteria alive for another 2 years. And so we really specialize. And this is not a, hey, I'm going to have a cheat day.
I want to be like Maggie, Rancher Maggie with the muscles. She's 83 years old right now. She's been eating carnivore for 65 years. She doesn't cheat on carnivore. She's absolutely thriving. Carrie, Mr. Perfect never cheats on carnivore. I can probably guarantee you those individuals have never... In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything I know about cheating on the carnivore diet, why you shouldn't cheat on the carnivore diet, with the goal of helping you and helping others that are actually struggling and yo-yoing for years and years. My name is Carrie. I've been eating a carnivore diet for 2 years now. I haven't had a single cheat. I haven't eaten off plan one time. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back or to make anybody feel bad that has cheated. I failed over and over again on a ketogenic diet for years, like 10 years. I'm one of the biggest failures in the world. But I've learned some things, some very important things that a lot of people don't know that I'm going to tell you in this video. Reasons why you might want to reconsider before cheating or eating off plan on a carnivore diet. I'm going to tell you everything I know in this video, and I'm going to do it really quickly. So let's get started. Number one, my name's Carrie. I've been eating carnivore for 2 years now. I am down 100 pounds plus since my heaviest. I overcame depression, anxiety, a lifelong battle. I was on every SSRI antidepressant. I was hopelessly depressed. It's all gone on a carnivore diet. I reversed my congestive heart failure, which is in my medical records. I reversed my lifelong irregular heartbeat. I no longer have gout in my foot. My IBS is gone. I don't snore anymore. It's incredible what has healed for me on a carnivore diet. I have been through an incredible amount of suffering. My body has seen trauma that most bodies probably haven't seen before. And so I get people telling me all the time, oh, Mr. Perfect Carrie never cheats on a carnivore diet, must be nice. When I say I don't cheat on a carnivore diet, it isn't to pat myself on the back or make anyone else feel better. The reason I haven't cheated on a carnivore diet is because I don't want to go back to where I was before. And I'm going to give you a little background story. Jen and I met at age 14. We've been together for 30 years. Thank goodness. I'm thankful, grateful, blessed for Jen every single day that she stuck by my side through all of my health issues and mental issues. At age 15, 1 year after we met, I was going to the bathroom. I stood up, I turned around, and I looked down in the toilet to check my work. Now, before you start laughing at that, you know darn well, every single one of you watching this, when you do a number two, you check your work. This part's going to get a little graphic, but it's important that I share the truth. When I went to check my work, the entire toilet bowl, the white porcelain, was filled with blood. It was red, and there were drops of red blood on the toilet seat. And I was 15 years old, and I was terrified. I knew something was wrong. That was the other reason I went to check my work. I told my mom. She took me to the hospital. They diagnosed me with Crohn's disease. I believe that was a misdiagnosis. What I eventually learned I had was a pilonidal cyst and a fistula. A fistula is a tube that goes from the inside of the body to the outside of the body, and I would bleed through that tube. And that's what filled that whole toilet up with blood that day. And throughout my teenage years, throughout my high school years, my formative years, it was humiliating, but it happened over and over again. And it was horribly painful. And I have since subsequently learned that fistulas are a result of inflammation. And I believe that the pilonidal cyst I experienced and the fistula were all from the foods I was eating my entire life. And maybe something from birth. Maybe it was foods that my mom ate. Maybe I got it in utero. I don't know. But that pilonidal cyst was one of the most painful things. They did surgery on this. The surgery is a procedure where they cut the cyst out and they cut a golf ball sized hole on the top of my butt crack. And it was incredibly painful. And they leave that open to heal. And they leave it open for 6 to 8 weeks. And my amazing wife, Jen, had to go in there and change that gauze. And it was horrible and it was painful. But beyond that, I had to go in for a treatment. It's called a silver nitrate treatment. They would take this, imagine a match head. Silver nitrate is like a chemical match head. It looks just like a match head. Imagine taking a match head, lighting it on fire, and then sticking it in that open wound. That golf ball size open wound I had. They did that to me over and over and over again. They cauterized it. They burned the wound with no anesthesia whatsoever. That was the most painful experience and trauma my body's ever been through. To this day, I don't want people to feel sorry for me, I'm just telling you the truth, but to this day, I still have nightmares about that. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, it was crazy. I had a couple days in a row where I just was reliving this trauma over and over again, the pilonidal cyst surgery. That surgery reoccurred because I continued to not eat a proper human diet. A couple years later, I had to have that surgery again. A couple years later, I had to have the surgery again. And each of those times, I had to have the pilonidal cyst cauterized with silver nitrate. And it was agonizing. So when people say to me, Carrie, Mr. Perfect never cheats on carnivore, I can probably guarantee you those individuals have never experienced a pilonidal cyst excision surgery with silver nitrate chemical cauterization treatments over and over again. Because that is what I don't want to go back to. And with that said, I also had multiple kidney stones. I had my gallbladder removed, which was incredibly painful. My appendix burst on the operating room table. I had squamous cell cancer on my ear. I had congestive heart failure. My heart, 48% of my heartbeats were premature before I found carnivore. Since birth, I had an irregular heartbeat since birth. 1 year on carnivore, my 44 ejection fraction went to a 60, which is normal. My lifelong irregular heartbeat with 48% premature beats went back to normal. I have 0 premature beats anymore. All of this is to say, and I'm getting back to the cheating part now, we're coming full circle, stick with me here. All of this is to tell you, all of that suffering, all of that trauma was nothing in comparison to the... Quick interruption, did you know we have an incredible membership site for you called healinghumanity.life. We have a special offer going on right now. Learn more at the link in the description. We have courses, we have expert Q&As with the good doctors. We even have a Healing Humanity Heroes Zoom call once a week, highlighting real heroes that will inspire you on a path to healing. The community's wonderful recipes, all sorts of great stuff to help you on a path to healing. Learn more at the link in the description below. All of that suffering, all of that trauma was nothing in comparison to the horrible clinical suicidal depression I had for years and years and years. That is the definition of hell, when you have no hope, and I was truly hopeless for so many years. That was 1,000,000 times worse than the silver nitrate treatments, and I wouldn't do anything in the world. I was begging God, please give me something, help me, get me through the next hour, get me through the next day. And God gave me carnivore, and it saved my life. So I'm not going to go back and eat a Twinkie or a cupcake or some junk food, because I don't want to go back to where I was before, because my body has seen suffering like most bodies probably haven't. And if your body hasn't seen that suffering, I understand you have different reasons, and it may be more tempting to go cheat on carnivore. But what I see in the world right now is people going down the same path that I was going down. You could end up with a pilonidal cyst, you could end up with kidney stones, you could end up with clinical suicidal depression yourself. It's rampant in the world right now. That is why I don't cheat. I have a very powerful why, but I'm going to say a couple other things on why I don't cheat and why you should reconsider it. And the other reason I don't cheat is because I have talked to so many carnivores. And like I said to you earlier, I cheated on the ketogenic diet 1,000,000 times. And every single time, it was horrible. Not once did I ever cheat on a ketogenic diet and say, gee, I feel great now. I deserve that. I'm glad I got it out of my system. I binged, I went nuts until my stomach hurt, and then I gained all the weight back, and I yo-yoed for years and years. I've realized on a carnivore diet, we are all addicts. You watching this, you're addicted to the standard American diet. You're addicted to carbs. You're addicted to food. Not just sugar and candy, pizza and pasta and carbohydrates. You're addicted to them. And when you go on a ketogenic diet, you abstain and you lose the weight, and then you try to go back to moderation, you gain it all back. You have to admit you're addicted. On the carnivore diet, I am abstaining. I treat this like a hard drug, or like I was an alcoholic my entire life. Now, if I was an alcoholic my entire life, and it literally ruined my children's life, which the standard American diet ruined my children's life. That's the truth. I did it. I'll take full responsibility. But me being a hopeless, depressed, suicidal, fat lump sitting on the couch, ignoring my children, angry with the world, I was not there as a father to them. In the very same way that someone who is addicted to alcohol ruins their family's life, I ruined my family's life. Now, had I been addicted to alcohol and had I quit alcohol, and I've been off it for 2 years now, would I now go back and say, I'm just going to have a beer on Saturday because I deserve it? I would go back and I'd binge and I'd be a full-blown alcoholic again. You have to treat this like an addiction. I've interviewed hundreds of carnivores, and not one carnivore that I've interviewed that's cheated or that's eaten off plan, not one of them has ever said to me, you know what? I needed to get that out of my system. I did. Now I feel better, and I'm glad I did that. None of them. Every single one of them has regretted their cheat. And the other thing is, every single one of them has said, after I cheated and ate that, it didn't taste anything like I remembered it. I had a piece of pie, or I had some candy, and everyone says the same thing. It tasted like chemicals. It tasted artificial. It tasted fake. It tasted bad. It didn't taste like I remembered it. Why is that? Because it is artificial, and because it is bad, and because when you get rid of all of that noise and you abstain from it and then you return back to it, your body is screaming at you, we don't need this, we don't want this, this is fake, this is not good for you. So those are some of the reasons I don't cheat. And then the other reason that's so important that a lot of you may not be aware of is I believe our guts play a huge role in our health. All disease begins in the gut. Hippocrates said that 2,000 years ago. You are what you eat. You've heard that. Let food be thy medicine. You probably heard that too. We listen to these things, but we don't really listen. It is the ultimate truth. All disease begins in the gut. If you're depressed, it's because of your gut. If you have arthritis, it's because of your gut. If you have autoimmune disorders, a skin issue, psoriasis, eczema, it's because of your gut. All of it. If you're sick and you're always got the sniffles and the cold, it's because you have a weakened immune system because your gut is ruined. Our gut bacteria plays a huge role in our overall health. And the gut bacteria and the gut in general of humanity is wrecked. And you watching this, the average person watching this, your gut is wrecked. Unless you've been doing carnivore for a while, your gut is destroyed. All of these plants, even salads that we're eating, they're riddled with pesticides, atrazine, glyphosate. Atrazine's an herbicide. Glyphosate's a weed killer. It destroys your gut. It destroys your gut. And you're eating it with every bowl of cereal. You're eating it every time you eat fruits and vegetables. You're eating it with everything. Not only is glyphosate a weed killer, it is patented as an antibiotic. Now, I want you all to go out and do some research and Google that now because I get 100 comments every time I mention glyphosate as an antibiotic and they say that I'm foolish and I don't know what I'm talking about. It's literally patented as an antibiotic. You are consuming low levels of antibiotics chronically for years and years and decades, and you think that's fine? It's craziness. Imagine if you were taking a pharmaceutical antibiotic. This is the same thing if you were taking that for years and years. Your gut would be ruined. It's destroying the gut bacteria. Everything else downstream gets destroyed too. You end up with depression, anxiety, sleep issues, weakened immune system, eczema, brain fog, and inflammation throughout your body. And when you have chronic inflammation for long enough, you end up with cancer. My point being this, if you do carnivore for 1 year, and then you go have a little cheat, just one little cupcake, that bad gut bacteria just flourishes, absolutely flourishes. You are starving it by eating a carnivore diet. Now, I've used this analogy before, and I'm going to do it again because I love it. Imagine a football field 100 yards long, a 100-yard football field. At the very end of the football field, we have one little blade of grass that's probably not going to focus with this camera. This little blade of grass represents the standard American diet, the way that you've been eating and your parents have been eating, and the way that we foolish humans believe this is normal. This is the way it's been forever. This is just the way it's been. It hasn't been that way. For that entire football field, imagine all that grass, all those blades of grass for 100 yards. They ate like I eat. They ate a carnivore diet, and they had healthy, pristine gut bacteria because they didn't put all of these unnatural chemicals and sugars and carbs and glyphosates and atrazines and food dyes. We didn't put any of these things in our bodies for that whole football field. Now this one little blade of grass, you're eating cakes and fruit and vegetables, and you think it's so normal, and you think that's just the way it's always been, and it's so healthy for you, and your gut is wrecked. Bringing this full circle, why I don't cheat on carnivore? One time, I've been doing this 2 years now. If I were to go eat a cupcake right now, I believe I would be ruining my gut health. That would flourish the bad gut bacteria that could take 2 years to die back off again. You have different die-offs of different gut bacteria. There's some at 3 months, there's some at 6 months, there's some at 1 year, there's some at 2 years. My friend Malia taught me about this. She works for a company called IHF.
The important thing to note is even eating 1 teaspoon of starch, so whether you're eating some grains or whether you're eating some sugar or whatever, can keep that bacteria alive for another 2 years. And so we really specialize, and this is not a, hey, I'm gonna have a cheat day. We're gonna heal. The people that come to us are severely ill, and they've been ill for a long time. And so they're dedicated.
She knows her stuff. I'll leave a link for that video below if you want to learn more about your gut bacteria, gut health. But that's a huge reason I will never cheat on carnivore. I'm so happy I just hit 2 years, and I believe I recently had another big gut bacteria die-off. When that happens, you end up with cravings, you end up with crazy dreams, you want to eat food again because the gut bacteria is trying to control you. It's trying to get more of that because it doesn't want to die. Well, it's dead now, and if you looked at my gut, I would be willing to bet that my gut is healthier than 99.9% of humanity walking this earth right now. If you were able to go back, say 1,000 years, you'd be able to see a closer gut to what mine is right now. Those are the reasons I don't cheat on carnivore. The last reason is I want to grow old with my wife. I want to walk my children down the aisle. I want to thrive. I want to be like Maggie, Rancher Maggie, with the muscles. She's 83 years old right now. She's been eating carnivore for 65 years. She doesn't cheat on carnivore. She's absolutely thriving. When I'm 80, like Maggie, I want to be like her. And Maggie's going to live to be 120. I have no doubt about it. And she's not going to suffer to 120. She's going to thrive. I want to thrive to 120 with my wife by my side and my grandchildren and my children. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I see that junk. I see the cupcakes. I see the poison. I look at it like just what it is, poison. I hope that helped you. I'm not judging you. Please don't compare yourself to me. If you've cheated, if you've fallen off plan, I've done it a million times. I'm not better than you. This isn't you against me. This is you against you. I just want people to have the proper information and understanding. A little cheat is probably much more than what you think it is. I used to just think, I'll have a little cheat. Oh, that'll knock me out of ketosis. That's going to suck. Could take a week, could take 2 weeks to get back into ketosis again. I don't want to go through the keto flu. It's much deeper than that when you account for the gut bacteria, gut biome. So I hope that helped you all. Leave a comment down below. Have you guys eaten off plan on carnivore? And how did it go? Was it worth it for you? Are you glad you did it? Are you glad you got it out of your system, or do you regret it? Do you have any advice for others watching this video so that they stay on plan and that they stay healthy so they can live long and happy lives with their spouse and with their children? The reason I do this video is because I want to help people. I'm not judging or shaming anybody. There's a lot of people that don't understand this information, and they end up yo-yo dieting for years and years, and then they end up with, God forbid, cancer or having a heart attack or a stroke because they can't stick to the plan. If you want to learn more about what I'm doing, I'm filming a documentary called Healing Humanity. We're following real people around that are eating a proper human diet like I am, and they're overcoming incredible health issues: Parkinson's, obesity, type 2 diabetes, cancer. We're covering all of the topics. If you want to learn more and you want to watch our trailer that Jordan Peterson tweeted out, please visit donate.healinghumanity.movie. Thanks so much for watching. Beep. Hey, that was one take. No edits. Oh, and by the way, if you want to watch the video I did where I just went to visit with my doctor, I'll have that up here in the corner of the screen. One take, 0 edits, because I'm a carnivore. I don't have that brain fog or inflammation anymore. You won't either if you eat a proper human diet. Thanks so much for watching.